2017 클래시 로얄 크라운 컵 글로벌 시리즈 코리아 4강 6총상
예측이 맞아 떨어졌고 또 고블린 톡이 처음에 나왔고요. 행운의 여신이 저한테 오지 않았나 생각이 들어요.
중앙대 의대 다니고 있는 본과 4학년입니다.
마무리됐습니다.
묵직함의 끝을 보여주는 중앙지옥이에요.
나왔어요.
8강 올라온 8명 중에서 저를 딱 이길 만한 사람이 없는 것 같아요.
다시 한번 골렘이에요. 묵직을 바로 이런 걸 보고 이야기하는 거예요.
이제부터 진짜 본 게임이죠. 선수들이 지면 끝일 수도 있겠구나라는 생각을 해야 돼요.
위쪽에서 기다리는 것과
너무 다르죠.
아래쪽에서부터 다시 치열하게 올라와야 되는 선수들과는 이 차이는 분명히 있습니다.
너무 큰 차이가 있기 때문에 먼저 올라가는 것이 너무나도 중요한 상황입니다.
1등으로 제가 결승 스킹하겠습니다.
결승전에서 앉아서 다음 선수를 기다리겠습니다.
아마 경기는 제가 생각한 대로 흘러갈 겁니다.
꼭 1위를 차지하겠습니다.
Welcome to Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea Day number 7 with the deciders matches with the top 4, top 2 from each Group A and Group B. My name is G Clef and here we have Simon. We'll have 3 best of 5s only, not 4 as usual.
Yeah, just the 3 today, so we'll have the first 2 matches and then the winners of those matches will play each other to decide who goes straight to the final.
That's right. One person after tonight will go straight to the final. We'll be going straight through. Doesn't have to play through the playoff, the semi-playoff. We'll be standing on top at the final. So you can just be watching the others. Oh, what kind of decks they have brought. And he will be at least second place. But second place does not guarantee you that ticket to London.
Yeah, it also doesn't help with the prize money either. The prize money is
That
obviously
too.
higher at the top. And these players really do want that plus the trip to London.
And you will see the overview. It's a lot easier to say here. Of course, from today's match number 1 loser and match number 2 losers, of course, they will have to climb up from the bottom of the playoff. If they win, they will verse the second place of winners match tonight. Winners match. First place will be standing on top in red on the right at the final. It's going to be a different format, the best of 7 instead of best of 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair for the final, a best of 7. It will show both players' creativity. It'll show how good they are at predicting decks and how good they are at countering decks as well.
Yep, but with the same format, we'll have the global ban. We'll have the double blind ban from each player. So we'll have the same 3 minutes for them to gather their decks and a minute in between the sets, between the games, for them to change anything in their deck to go against their opponent for the next game. Only 3 days remaining, Simon, already. We will have deciders match as usual and the playoff and the final. Only 3 more days for us.
Yeah, it's going to feel weird this week only doing 1 day. I was kind of jonesing for some more Clash Royale action this weekend, and now I'm going to have to go a whole other week and a half until the next match
we can
today.
Play and we can get new quest for the entire week. But let's take a look what the name in front of that locker is.
Hog Rider. Well, well, well. Look who's been taking the gold coins.
Oh, man. See the Prince on the left? No, I'm pretty sure Prince has no coins at all.
No, he's probably got like a couple of carrots for his horses. But Hog Rider is just hoarding that gold.
Hog Rider is just dominating the ladder. Of course, not only the Hog Rider, there are lots of cards. And today we have 4 players, 2 players from each group, as I mentioned before. But they all seem to have their own playstyle and characteristics.
Yeah, both groups also had their own playstyle. We had Group A, who was very chip heavy, and Group B, who was very like burst heavy.
Whoa! Look at the crowd, and also we're going to have always for the audience who visits our venue, we have some special prize. Like today, we have something special, gift cards for you, which can become into gems, you know, and when you have to open the chest, you don't don't want to like wait like I do. I always, which is not the smartest way, but I always do because I love Clash Royale so much.
I save my gems until, I don't know, a rainy day or something like that, until someone decides to take them from me.
Rainy day. I'll wait until the snowing day for me to stop. But here we go. That's going to be the matchups tonight. Yungela versus Charsiu match number 1. X-BowMaster versus JungAng match number 2. And we have the winners match right after. So 3 best of 5s. We'll take it slow and see who ends up. No one's going to drop out today. But it does matter a lot, of course.
Yeah, your positioning really does matter because the more information your opponent will have on you, the harder it is going to be to progress to that final, to take the win and go to London. Like, it's going to be really difficult if you have to play from the bottom to the top.
And we do have a VCR for you guys. Check it out.
대회를 올라왔어요.
그렇습니다.
첫날에 너무 잘 풀려서 이거 쉽게 올라갈 수도 있겠다고 생각을 솔직히 조금은 했거든요.
쓰리 크라운인데요.
쓰리크라운 마무리 짓습니다. 오른쪽 왼쪽 오른쪽 왼쪽.
첫날이 다 좌지우지 하지 않았나.
앞만 쭉쭉 보고 가던 그 선수가 이제는 뒤를 돌아봐야 되는 상황이 돼버렸습니다. 이거 승부를 보는 거야.
당겼어요.
이 여유까지 보여주는 것 같아요. 대형 상부전이 진짜.
결국에는 차슈 아빠 선수 웃으면서 얼굴을 감싸줍니다.
제가 지금 2패해가지고 걱정되시는 분들이 있을 것 같은데 전혀 걱정하지 않으셔도 됩니다. 자신감 충만합니다.
빅덱을 정말 잘 쓰시기 때문에 빅덱 카운터 칠 수 있는 덱을 준비해서 왔습니다.
제가 딱 제 경기를 돌이켜보니까 사용한 게 많이 없더라고요. 전략이죠. 이왕 숨긴 거 그냥 끝까지 숨기고 더 중요한 매치에서 제가 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
결승전에서 앉아서 다음 선수를 기다리겠습니다.
꼭 1위를 차지하겠습니다.
Match number 1. Here we have Yungela and Charsiu up on the stage. And also to update you guys that today will be the first day with Flying Machine available. I don't think we're going to see any at all. But it's just an upgrade there with the card available for them.
That'd be interesting. I do think we might see 1 or 2 in the earlier games, like the first game when they're trying to find a footing, see what the other person's going to do. We might see it there, but honestly, it would be kind of not ideal with it.
Well, it's a good card, but also let's take a look at Yungela first. Advanced from Group A with 4 and 2 with 12 plus points and 17 crown. So you can basically tell how heavy his decks were most of the time, taking lots of crown, the most crown compared to all 8 players actually from both groups.
Yeah, he's an incredible player, and he showed his dominance in Group A by being the first to qualify and just all-round great play.
And on the other side, Charsiu from Group B, second, got out of group as a second place with 3, 1 tied, and also not having his best day, lost the last 2 matches. He was actually having 3 and 1, no losses at all until the last day.
Yeah, he was dominating Group B so hard, and then the last day happened and he just didn't perform as well as he should have, and he ended up dropping to second.
It was close, but because he tied once, I believe, with X-BowMaster before, he still made it. But let's take a look. The band card is ready.
Oh.
Okay.
Graveyard
so
of Minor.
This basically says, no tricky stuff. Let's go with the original, what you're good at. I have brought you what you're good at. I brought the counter to what you're good at. So bring out what you're good at, and I think you can counter it. And let's just take out all those tricky stuff.
I kind of agree. Like, they are very interesting bands. Like, they are completely aimed at reducing the amount of I don't want to say cheesy stuff, but the amount of like avoiding the front lines. Like, we're gonna see probably some Hog Riders, some Barrels. Those kind of cards will come through instead of your miners and your graveyards.
Yep, and after those bans, they will have 3 minutes to change their deck if anything is affected by those ban cards. And also, you will have only a minute later on between the sets, so take this time. They will take this time to change everything, make sure they have the best tools against after watching that ban card.
Yeah, I can see a lot of their decks probably will be affected by this. The Miner and Graveyard are both incredible cards in this format, and we've seen them a lot in previous games.
Yes, Graveyard plus Miner, I would say at least 70% of the games from Korea, or 60 to 70% if you add them both.
I thought, like, if you were going by sets, that would be insane. But we have seen one or the other,
or
in nearly
together
every game.
even with like some barrels. I think because of these bans, we're likely to see a lot more barrels or a lot more heavier ones, like
Golem
Electric
decks.
Collector is still available. I think we will see lots of golems coming out from Charsiu, which what he's known for. From day number 1, he was basically using the golem to destroy everyone from Group A.
Yeah, and on the last day, he didn't really try to use that many golem decks. I think he was trying something out, because the problem is when you are known for being a golem player, everyone knows what you're going to bring.
Yeah, Charsiu used lots of miners, lots and lots of miners. Some Tesla towers, because he was basically guaranteed, he was also like testing lots of stuff. He was guaranteed to advance into the semis, so he was testing lots of miners, Tesla Tower, Mega Minion, even Infernal Dragons.
Yeah, but that can have such a negative effect when you're trying to test things out and everything you test fell flat. Like, that's going to hit your confidence, it's going to hit your play style. You think, maybe I am just a one-trick pony.
Well, he's the one who used lots of miner, and he actually banned it out. Do you think we'll see lots of golems coming back again? I'm pretty sure Elixir Collector will be in there somewhat. We already see lots of air units. Oh, miner! Can't use that. Can't use that one.
Yeah, don't put that in, mate. Don't. You got to take it out. we don't want to.
Maybe today will be the very first day with the ban card in game.
The shortest day we have. Like, he puts miner in every deck and he just auto concedes to the bottom. Like,
well, I think he just loses one game instead. So,
yeah, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He never changes his deck.
You can't make that kind of mistake here. You think we'll see lots of air units today? Lava loons.
Yeah, Laloon is definitely a possibility. Very strong, especially with Graveyard being removed. It's probably the next best option at almost guaranteeing damage on the tower.
I wonder what kind of defense they will also have, because oftentimes when Graveyard was used, it was paired up with Poison and also Tornado most of the time.
I can see Tombstone being a big player today as a way to pull away the golems, to pull away the balloons, like to pull away the lava hounds.
Oh, with that blue. No blue screen, guys. Don't freak out, it's okay. But the time is up. They are ready to go, and they should have. And they took some time, but we are ready for game number 1. Let's go in. Yungela versus Charsiu. Here we go, deciders match number 1, set 1, game 1. Yungela in blue at the bottom, Charsiu on top in red. Let's see if they actually wait or if they have the perfect cycle.
Well, we have seen quite a lot of games where they end up waiting, but this is not going to be one of them. Goblins come down for Charsiu, and Yungela counters with an ice golem just to take away that damage.
Okay, dropping that poison a little bit early. Wonder what else he has to pair that up with.
It was actually a really good thing to do. There's a Hog Rider,
but a Mega Knight to drop right on top. Hog Rider lands 1, 2, even more.
Yeah, interesting. The Mega Knight actually started to attack Hog Rider, and then Hog Rider just moved out of the way. The Ice Golem was there, so if the Ice Golem hadn't been there, we'd have seen that Hog Rider go down much earlier.
Even Pekka. There's a similar that in a way, using Ice Golem plus Poison to have your own defense system like that.
Yeah, Poison.
Ooh, this seems like a mistake though. Ice Golem placed way far to the right.
Yeah, what he was trying to do was to try and get Pekka to move with the Ice Golem, but it was just out of the aggro range there.
Oh man, that was a big mistake by Yungela. Ice Golem did not do a thing, so he's landing the balloon as soon as possible, you know.
Wizards! Well, nice to see you, buddy.
A wizard. Oh, actually, balloon connects once, twice.
That's dangerous.
And it's going
That's
to be a
tower.
trade. What a play coming out from Yungela using that elixir control.
Yeah, I mean, the balloon kind of got dropped down and then there was no answer, but it doesn't look like Charsiu actually has an answer. Electro Wizard is the only thing that shoots up.
Yeah, with the ice and the poison will actually get some, I guess it will delay as much as possible. But he doesn't have anything like a minion or like a princess to deal with.
Yeah, these poisons are perfect to take out the Electro Wizards. Hog Rider, there's Mega Knight, gets frozen by the Ice Spirit, but that doesn't matter. He turns around and takes out the Hog Rider.
Pekka is on the way.
Dropped.
Nice poison though. This is doing some damage to the balloon now.
The Electro Wizard comes out again. I feel like that balloon could have come down a little bit earlier, just after the last Electro Wizard went down.
Just before it connects. Still did get the explosion damage, but here comes the problem. The Hog Rider with the Pekka. Ice Golem is taking some damage, but
the bats clean up Pekka. I still don't know how bats would kill a Pekka.
well, he also had the zap, I think, on all those units. So they will go overtime. Actually, still a little more favors for Charsiu.
Good poison there, making sure that that wizard will drop. Yeah, Pekka there, just ensuring the wizard's fate with that poison spell. Bat's going to work. Yeah, there just is no real anti-air here for Charsiu. Like,
So it's going to be a push. It's going to be the cycle is going to matter so much. Hog Rider gets just one, I guess.
Okay, now,
But Electro Wizard is gladly dropped already from Charsiu. This Ice Golem is actually taking the damage instead, and Balloon is going to connect if it's left.
Once! Yeah, just the once, and this is a dangerous counter push here for Charsiu. Gets one hit. The Electro Wizards do take each other out.
About as even here.
This is anybody's game.
Still, one great push will just be game over.
Ice Golem at the front is always a good way to start your push.
Ooh, the Wizard and the Ice Golem in the poison, and here comes the Hog Rider. Does he have the defense? Does he have the electric?
Mega Knight needs to. Mega Knight. If he'd have turned around to go for that Electro Wizard there, this would have been game over.
Ooh, this balloon drop, but the Pekka dropped right after from Charsiu. Is he going to stop this from coming in? One hit will actually be. It does get the drop, and that's going to be game.
Yeah, Electro Wizard just looked like it had done enough to stop that bomb from being dropped, but somehow the Skeleton manages to drop the bomb over the edge, takes out the tower.
Nicely done. Also bringing the Wizard for that balloon to push in. If there's any air units like the minions, like Minion Horde, Wizard actually take them out in one shot.
Yeah.
So I think that was a great idea to bring the Wizard. Did not really need it because Charsiu did not have any kind of air units like that, but still, what a great push using that balloon. Just knowing your opponent that he does not have any counter against the balloon.
Well, his one counter was pretty much the Electro Wizard. So he tried to cycle it so that the balloon would always come down just after the Electro Wizard had either been dropped or taken out. And that way you can capitalize on the lack of anti-air from Charsiu.
And Pekka was always coming in against Yungela, and he had lots of tools. He also had an Electro Wizard. Also, the Mega actually did tons of damage, just dropping down, taking out multiple targets. Hog Rider was a good tool for Charsiu at the beginning, but later on it didn't do too much. It was nicely dealt with.
Yeah, but when you said at the beginning, I think that mainly came down to the Ice Golem being slightly placed either late or misplaced, and it drew away the Pekka as well. So like it ended up such a big push just because the Ice Golem wasn't in the right place.
Well done by Yungela. Even with that mistake, he was still able to swing his way back in. And that was all from Balloon, as we talked about. And they will also get another minute, only down to 13 seconds now. But game 2. Electro Wizard, Hog Rider, Pekka was a good deck, but anti-air will seem to be the problem. Maybe Charsiu will bring his own heavy air units this time.
Well, he needs to at least put some anti-air in there, just in case he tries the same deck again.
So game 2 is ready between these two players. Yungela leading the series with a 1-0 at the moment. Let's jump into game number 2. Here we go. Yungela is leading, but I feel like he has brought something else, like the barrel this time.
Maybe.
Oh man, I smell a golem. Oh, nicely dealt with.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about Yungela's mental fortitude there. Like, he made a mistake. He ended up losing the tower because the ice golem walked away, didn't drag anything with it. Yet he still maintained his composure. He still made sure that he could take one tower and look at taking the second tower. But Charsiu's golem play is back.
My favorite. And here comes the golem, slowly walking, crawling.
Yungela should know that after losing the first game, Charsiu probably will go back to something he loves.
There's Jungela's favorite, the barrel. She lands on.
Inferno Dragon, perfect counter choice to the...
But a clone spell! It's going in. That may not be enough. It also has to drop the Mega Knight
for the defense, but it looks as though the Inferno Dragon is doing work here.
Also, the princess from the other side is connecting this entire time. But that attack with the clone, a surprise clone. But Yungela knows what his head's up against right now.
And Lumberjack. See, I see a lot of Lumberjack now, mainly as a cycle. Like, it's to cycle out, because there's nothing going into that Rage Potion.
Yeah, well, he just had to drop it, for he just wanted the next attack cycle. He wanted the Collector, he wanted some Golem, so that's what he needs from the beginning.
Yeah, straight rocket, taking out that Elixir Collector. No extra Elixir for you, Charsiu.
Dude, it's the best to have your Golem, of course, the Night Witch right behind, and the Mega Minion. After that, you will have your Lumberjack just walking straight into the clone, and basically you will go all the way straight to the King Tower.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of that push far too many times, and it hurts.
It hurts, and it can go straight to the King Tower. It will take all 3 crowns, and Charsiu's looking for that giant push.
Yeah, but Yungela is going to go down the other lane with most of his elixir here with the barrel and the princess, but there's the clone.
There's a clone with the Lumberjack, but the princess actually connecting. Okay, down to 102, but this is big. Double Lumberjack, double Rage onto this tower now.
Yeah, but that golem raced forwards to that tower, and now the little golems are going to deal more damage here.
Another clone onto Night Witch.
Oh, this is dangerous here. Those bats do so much damage.
It's doing so much damage. The barrel comes down. That's going to be a trade.
And we're back at square one. Like, both players are relatively even now.
But this means that Charsiu may get the better end, because he can actually get the cycles a lot easier with a lot more elixirs in his hand right now. Let's see how he wants to distribute his attack. Yungela's doing the same thing. Just deploying Princess and some Inferno Dragon to defend the Golem, and dropping all the barrels on Princess on the other side every single time.
Mega Knight dropped on top of it, but the Golem's just going to walk past. The Lumberjack goes down, and that means these Golems are going to race towards that tower. But it's only the baby Golem, and it will be quickly dealt with.
Yeah, the thing is, the Inferno Dragon is barely being dealt with by Charsiu. He's just pushing his way in, not really caring about the dragon too much. Well, the barrels are always connecting, at least doing good 2 shots from each side.
This Golem slowed down by the Ice Spirit. Inferno Dragon still is locked on. That's going to take it down really quickly. Oh, he gave up. The Inferno Dragon decided to start targeting someone else, and the Rage Potion is going to go right on that tower.
Even the Mega Minion will be raged, and the Golem walking straight to the tower now, but the Dragon, double Dragon now being dealt. Nothing is attacking the Dragon right now.
Just that one Inferno. Oh, yeah, but I don't think it's going to matter. That tower looks really low.
Does he have anything else? He needs more than a zap for sure, but this push will be a big one. Lumberjack just dropped for the defense. Seems like he's panicking at the moment. This is a great push from Yungela. He may actually do it with the bats, with the Mega Knight, and pick it up. He does it once more.
Wow, that was looking so bad for Yungela there. But luckily, he had so much defending that when the defense was done, his offense was super strong.
Oh my. All that damage from the barrel. If Charsiu actually thought about it just for a second, deployed any, maybe even a zap to take care of him sometimes. But because he was basically putting everything down for his maximum attack, for using clone lumberjack, the barrel did so much damage from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, he left it alone far too long, but he didn't really have much that could have defended it that he didn't want in his push. You're not going to drop a clone on top of your princess tower, are you? Like, you're not going to drop the lumberjack there to take out the goblin barrel because that seems inefficient.
If the last lumberjack from the left side, not the right side, not the last one too, the one before the last 15 seconds, I guess, if they're connected with the golem, and he was even using the clone on the golem only, that's how desperate he was to taking that tower. But just not enough at the last one, and had about 140 left, which was not enough for a single zap to take out.
Yeah, he used that zap quite effectively, to be honest, to make sure those Inferno Dragons switch targets. But unfortunately, he didn't have anything that could deal that last 100 damage. If he had a Fireball or a Rocket, if he had one extra slot in that deck, that would have been game over.
Yep, and right after the Mega Knight push from Yungela, even with all the air units, the ground units, they were all going down the road there. And that's going to be 2-0. One more game will actually be the end of the series for Yungela. I think he has the momentum today. It's very close. I wouldn't say today's series is going one-sided. Charsiu is close to getting game 1 and also game 2. But just the last bit of power seems to be lacking all the time.
Yeah, I feel like both of Yungela's wins is because he had the perfect answer to whatever Charsiu was doing. First game, no anti-air. Yungela goes air. Second game, Golem. Yungela has the perfect defense.
Well, let's see what Yungela will have. And Charsiu to bring back the series for himself. He is down 0-2. This may be the end of the series, but game 3 is ready. Let's go right in. All right, we have game 3. Arena is ready. Yungela leading the one. Charsiu, the 2 decks you brought, you thought you were going to do well, was countered. Oh, man.
Both players drop down the Elixir Collectors. What? Both players dropping down the Elixir Collectors, showing that this game is going to be heavy.
Let's see how heavy it's going to be. The poison drop from Yungela. Graveyard is banned, so not going to be the one used.
Oh,
Yungela's own golem.
It is time to school.
And Charsiu has the same response. He says, "Oh, yep." But the thing is, later on, Charsiu, because the poison was already used, he will not get the. Yungela's getting a lot more value off that collector now.
Yeah, and Charsiu's Elixir Collector is already down. There's a baby dragon.
Ooh, baby dragon. That's a slight change from Charsiu, but the exact same deck
So
from
much
Yungela.
damage, but the lumberjack is on that tower. This is going to be very, very bad for Charsiu.
Ooh, even getting the bandit in. The lumberjack is doing tons of damage when the rage hits. Let's see how much more.
It has 282. Both these players basically have traded these towers once again.
But look at this. Yungela got a full value until right now. Until just now. It's going to be harder with the poison spell on the other side. I wonder what else Charsiu has. He should have some spells available too.
Another great poison there by Yungela, making sure that Elixir Collector does not get its full value. Here we go, Night Witch again, and we're going to probably see Golems.
If Charsiu has a similar one, then it's going to be a lumberjack once more. I think he may just be waiting for his moment. But the Elixir Collector is already down when Yungela still has half of his remaining.
Yeah, this is where it gets very, very dangerous for Charsiu because the double Elixir start.
Oh, the rocket! Nice done.
But the raged up Golem does so much damage to Charsiu's tower.
Down to 420. May actually do more, even with that.
Oh, it's so close to dropping. Both towers are so low. Poison will actually finish either of these towers, Yungela knows this is game over.
Yeah, Yungela basically knows. It's down to, it's so low right now. You can see he's gonna take out one. The left one is very easy also at the same time. Charsiu says, good game. Both players just saying good game. This is the game ending. May go all the way to the King Tower. It does. 3-0. What a crazy series already from the beginning of today. Yungela taking what? Charsiu loses.
You're speechless.
3-0.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm losing my words here.
Yeah, Yungela was so good. Everything he did was clinical. He made one mistake in that first game and then didn't drop a frame, didn't drop anything after that.
Wow, and also Bandit in that deck. Not really the most common one for Golem with the Poison, the Lumberjack. He had the push, he had what was available. I think that Poison spell really made the difference, having that full value on the Elixir Collector all the time for Yungela when Charsiu did not do so because there was that Poison spell dropping every single time.
Yeah, Charsiu is going home today. He's not going to be in the winner's match, but he will be back when we get to the playoffs.
He will be starting the playoff with another match number 2 loser versus match number 2 loser, but this is a crazy result from match number 1. Yungela basically dominating over Charsiu. There's not just... It's like Yungela did his homework, the studies, but you know the first one when you have the exam, like you're like the first one, you have 50 minutes to finish all your problems, but you're done in 25 minutes and you just put that in the desk and you just walk out. That felt like Yungela tonight. He was like, oh, I know everything about this. Like, just drop down everything with your pencil and just turn that in and leave the classroom.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was never that kind of guy. I always sat there and fell asleep at my desk.
I was always kind of that guy, but without the sheet filled. I was like, I don't know, turn it in. Might as well just go home. I don't know. I don't want to cheat. You know, that was me. But Yungela seemed like he got 100% on his test today.
He had every answer prepared long before this game. These decks were very, very refined, and the gameplay, the way he was playing these decks, it showed that he has practiced so much for these decks. And unbelievable just play in general from Yungela. Charsiu still played really well, but Yungela just dominated.
Oh, it's going to be game 3 replay with the Poison spell on Yungela's hand. You can basically just have this Yungela. Oh, Charsiu actually has the log available as a spell, but did not actually drop it down too many times.
Yeah, I mean, Yungela's deck here is slightly heavier, I think, than Charsiu's, but the Poison definitely was a game changer.
So because the Poison was dropped, Charsiu wanted to have his maximum attack, but it was pretty easily dealt with because he also has the tower attacking the units when Charsiu actually does not, because the Golem was placed all the way behind.
Yeah, and I mean, this was such a good push from Charsiu. He just couldn't capitalize on it. He managed to do so much damage, but then he didn't have anything to defend this push. Bandit, Mega Minion, Night Witch, Lumberjack, Golem. There was so much from Yungela.
Yep. Yungela just knew his push because he was getting more value, and the moment he knows that he has a swing in this game, he drops down another one, and Yungela does not have enough to make the push as strong, you know. Once your opponent drops down something big like that Collector, you want to punish, but if you have the same thing, you can't do much.
Yeah, but I mean, like, just the way that Yungela here builds so much damage from that. Even though he lost units to the rocket, he still dealt so much damage.
Yeah, Golem actually brought all the units in, and he also had the Poison spell right in there. So all the units, all the air units were also taken out pretty easily. He knew by this moment that this is a good game, and
that was it.
That was just game over.
There's
That's
just,
how you.
There's just nothing you can say. It was flawless play by Yungela.
That's kind of a player, Yungela. I wonder what we're going to have with the winners match, but that's not all. That's only match number 1 for tonight. Yungela taking the victory with 3-0, but we have another set of series coming up between X-BowMaster and JungAng, so we'll be right back, guys. Well, it is match 2 between X-BowMaster and JungAng. Welcome back. And we have both players already ready to go. Now, match number 1 went pretty quickly with 3-0. I wonder... Okay, this always has to be a topic. Are we going to see an X-Bow ban here?
No.
No?
No.
I think it's worth it, though. We saw his plays and his placement, his timing. Just knowing it to go offensively, defensively. He knew the elixir level. He knew how to control the elixir with the X-Bow, which basically how he won most of his games.
I don't think he won
Am I
most
convincing
of
enough?
his I don't think he won most of his games. Like, I do think X-Bow would be a good shout as a ban card, but I feel like you're wasting so many other potential
Well, let's
bans.
take a look at them before the match.
3대2 B조의 1위는 대형 석궁 장인입니다.
조 1위로 올라가서 좋긴 한데 첫날에 1승 1패를 기록했는데 그때 이도수 태도님한테 3대 0으로 져가지고 자신감이 하락했지만 두 번째 날부터 승승장구하면서 자신감을 회복해가지고 조 1위를 할 수 있었습니다. 중앙지호 선수는 예전에도 대회 나오신 경험이 있던 것 같은데 걱정은 안 되는 것 같아요. 플레이를 보면 볼수록 석궁을 하면은 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것 같아요. 저보다 한 수 아래인 것 같습니다. 이전과 같이 앨리서 정지석 밴하고 석궁을 쓰면서 3대 0으로 승리 거둘 수 있게 하겠습니다. 오늘도 1등으로 제가 결승 지켜야겠습니다.
해무 선수는 무조건 다 이기고 2등 안에 들어야겠다 이렇게 생각을 했는데
4강전 올라가는 중앙 지옥 선수로 확정됐습니다.
풀리그 처음 시작할 때 첫날부터 융겔라님한테 지고 준님한테 지고 이러면서 되게 불리하다 생각했는데 이제 마지막 날 어떻게 하면 올라갈 수 있을까 계산해보니까 한 판만 3크라운 승리를 하면은 앞서게 되니까 모든 것이 맞아 떨어져야 올라갈 수 있는데 그게 마지막 날 다 됐던 것 같습니다. 대형 석궁 장인 선수는 석궁 쓰는 거 한번 봤는데 되게 잘 써가지고 밴을 하는 것도 되게 괜찮은 거라고 생각합니다. 전략이 분석이 완료가 되었고 여러 가지 덱을 다 쓸 수 있도록 맞춤 덱을 쓰는 게 목표입니다. 아마 경기는 제가 생각한 대로 흘러갈 겁니다.
Ooh, lots of trash talk between the two. X-Bow thinks JungAng is a level below me. Oh my.
I know, that is as bad-mannered as it gets in Korea. Like, and the fact that you called it, it does seem that there will be an
I
X-Bow
think
ban
so.
by JungAng.
Just did you see all the Matrix things
I
coming
know,
down the
like, he's
green?
calculating everything. I mean,
He did. I mean, that's how he advanced from Group A.
it was so close. It came down to crown counts in the end. Controversially, we may add.
Oh, and compared to that, X-BowMaster here we have lost only one. He is the only player that lost one best of 5 from the group. He recorded with one draw actually against Charsiu, who lost the first match.
Yeah, and here's JungAng. He lost 2 games, one against Yungela, one against June. And yeah, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we actually see more X-Bow, you know? But as a player, as JungAng, if you go into his brain, like, you do not want to worry about that X-Bow possibly coming out, so you just want to ban it out. And we will have that ban card very soon. Let's take a look. Oh, it is banned.
He has banned X-BowMaster's signature card. But X-BowMaster bans the Elixir Collector. Now this puts X-BowMaster in kind of uncharted territory, right?
Well, X-BowMaster banned Elixir Collector, I believe, for the fourth time now. And at least more than 3 from what I remember. He bans a lot because he does not want to go against all the heavy ones, because he's the one when X-Bow is banned most of the time. He's the one that brings the light decks with lots of bandit, with lots of knights actually. So that's how he's going to roll his decks into the series here.
Yeah, X-BowMaster should have known that the X-Bow would probably get banned at this stage in the tournament. When you name yourself after a card, it kind of makes it an easy target for banning.
Well, let's see. We have a Music Master in the other region. We have an X-BowMaster here. Well, he brought lots of graveyard, lots of minor, the smaller decks where you get some chip damage. He I don't think he has ever went to that heavy deck with Golem or Maximum Lava Loom pushes at all. He just brought some chip damage, some barrels, using some spells to counter lots of Elixir Collector or some heavy units coming up from the other opponent.
Yeah, what is interesting about X-BowMaster is he actually has the lowest trophy count out of all the players at this stage of the tournament. By quite a bit, actually. Like, his highest is 1,000 lower than the next highest, like the next lowest person. He is pretty much the underdog in this situation.
Yeah, with these bans, I think we'll see, as you see on the left, you see the usual, the Graveyard Tornado Poison that he used before. I think he will just bring that multiple times. And JungAng, when he was playing, actually he was using lots of Graveyard at the same time, even using the first clone in the tournament, I believe. So look at that. Oh my.
That is a nice...
Having everything. He says a Golem clone. There's a Poison. He has everything in that.
That's so a nice spreadsheet. Nice spreadsheet. I'm a man who can appreciate a good Excel document.
Ooh, I think I just saw a Flying Machine in one of his deck too.
That'd be interesting if he does play it. I mean, he does have so many options available to him.
Flying Machine is it's of course one of the new cards, and it does not do too much damage, I would say, and it does not have the biggest hit point, but its range is crazy. And if you leave, it's like Princess. If you leave that unit, it's not the strongest one. If you leave that unit though, it will do massive amount of damage.
Yeah, it'll never look like it's gonna deal too much, but then it just slowly chips away at you, and you end up losing half your tower to something you thought was not a threat.
Well, that's the thing. We may have the first Flying Machine game. We'll see as we have games in. And I believe we'll have a lot more Graveyard, of course. Maybe some... We saw some Dark Princess coming out at the end of day number 6.
Yeah, we have. We saw quite a bit of it, actually. Like, towards the end, the meta has shifted, and we can see this shift. If you watch games on day 1, compare it to games on day 6. Like, the game differences, like we saw Mega Knight in day 1, but we saw a lot of Dark Knight on day 6 as well. It's a very interesting change.
Well, when JungAng also was using some heavy ones, but the Elixir Collector is now banned, I think this will be just straight up mechanics. We'll see who's better today, and we are ready. The 3 minutes are up. We are ready to jump into game number 1. Let's go in with X-BowMaster versus JungAng. Here we go, X-BowMaster in blue in the bottom, and JungAng with the red on top. We're in the jungle, guys.
Is JungAng fell asleep?
Seems like we're continuing our school classroom talk. It's like that's the angle you need if you're trying to be like looking at your textbook but also sleeping at the same time. But let's go back into the game. This Ice Golem dropped.
Yeah, Goblins as well. Executioner from JungAng. He's dropped a lot of stuff right now, and there's a Graveyard from X-Bow.
I think we'll see a very similar deck coming out.
Poison. It's hard to tell whose poison that is.
Oh, that's X-Bow's poison for now.
That's X-Bow's poison.
But the Baby Dragon is a good way to deal with some area damage. Also, seems like it's an exact... Well, let's see a little bit more as the Archers are dropped down from X-BowMaster.
The Archers are good against the Graveyard, but you will still lose a few hit points here. The Baby Dragon is also a very interesting choice.
He was, I guess they were just expecting those skeletons to come up from the ground, and if you do area damage as the Baby Dragon, you can also... Baby Dragon can actually tank some damage, and also go straight to the tower, do some damage, not too much. Let's see, JungAng is holding in his spell. There should be a tornado at least, I believe, with the Executioner.
Yeah, this deck looks like it probably would run a... there we go. JungAng's awake. Yeah, it looks like he should run a tornado. There it is. He does run the tornado. That's going to deal a lot of damage here. But both players playing Baby Dragon. And
see,
Archers
Baby Dragon's not really connecting to
Oh, he's hitting both of them at
Archers
some
are
points
actually
there, but
getting all the damage out from the skeleton, so well dealt with, I would say.
it looks like both players are just trying to chip away incredibly slowly, but a counter poison by JungAng.
JungAng did have that
nullifies
poison all along. He wanted to get that maximum use on that poison.
Yeah, and it kind of nullified the graveyard almost completely there. And it just did a couple of hits, like 1, maybe 2 hits on that tower.
With the Archer, X-BowMaster can actually push in a little bit more. But Executioner
great
tornado combo comes down.
Are they going to be? Oh, he does get it down, but the baby dragon still falls, and the graveyard actually did a lot of work there on that tower for X-BowMaster.
Down to 900. We will get the extra time in. Seems like we're going for a long game. Even the poison drop this time.
Good
Archers will be going down.
Takes down the archers, deals so much damage to that tower, but it looks like X-Bow still has a slight advantage here going into overtime.
Even dropping the poison. Executioner is doing some defense, not the best. Actually
I
connecting
think
to the tower so much.
He's a bit too slow to defend the graveyard there. Again, now it only has 400 damage. What is X-BowMaster's last card? Is it a rocket which would close this match?
Well, let's see. He's waiting for that chance. Log actually doing more damage to the tower. Damage
like
is
it might
connecting.
Go down. It's so close.
243 down to. That's
That
going to be
poison
with the
will be
poison.
enough.
That's going to be game. Still not using the last card, but that's basically it. The defense much more effective with just the archer. You have to, if you're a lot more cost efficient, that's how you bring the series. And if you know that you have lead, and when he had the X-Bow available, he was always the player. When he knew he had the lead, he was taking that favor to the maximum, and that's how we bring the series. Not with the X-Bow this time, but with the archer as a defense.
Yeah, and his offensive play with the poison, like he knew he could probably get away with it each and every time he dropped the graveyard.
I think X-BowMaster also just had, I think a tornado as the last one. He didn't really need it because all the units from the other side, they were just one unit, not too many, not like a Goblin Gang or something. So the poison was just enough to deal with lots of those units coming for him, but instead he was making that archer getting that full value.
Yeah, where do you go from here if you're JungAng? Like, what do you think you should do to kind of counterplay X-Bow's style? Like, it's very hard to define his style, right?
It is very hard. Well, seeing that he has brought the graveyard in his deck, maybe he'll just keep the same. And Baby Dragon was pretty good last time, but when he was in hurry, when he did not have the cycle, I believe, to have that Baby Dragon on top, he was instead dropping down the Executioner, which was not the best one to defend against the graveyard.
Yeah, it's not a very good card to defend against the graveyard. It is so good with Tornado, though. We saw there's so much damage taking out most of X-Bow's pushes, but it's not a good answer to the graveyards.
Maybe this time he has to bring in the barrel, some heavier push with the giant possibly.
Golem?
Golem, let's see. Well, it looks like Collector is banned, but Game 2 is ready. The time is up. They had their minute to change in. Seems like X-BowMaster is focusing 100% when JungAng is looking around a little bit. Game 2 is ready, guys. Let's go right in.
So here we are, X-Bow in blue on the bottom, JungAng red on top, and we're waiting for the first player to drop the first card, and a giant coming out from JungAng.
How did I know?
I don't know. Were you cheating?
I don't know.
You didn't even say.
I don't know.
A prince comes out and a princess.
Okay, let's see. Knight just.
Oh, Knight, sorry.
Knight actually dropped a little bit early, I would say.
Yeah, but it was a good timing actually, like to make sure that you regenerate that mana. Good there,
no.
Princess, do some damage.
But only connecting one.
Yeah,
with the area
unfortunately,
damage.
she seemed to have lost sight just about and had to retarget.
Okay, here comes the barrel from X-BowMaster because he used to
Instant
use.
fireball from JungAng though, takes out that barrel almost instantly. They didn't even have chance to
But
get
a
out.
fireball instead of a log or a zap. That's a big commitment.
It is an offensive option though. Like it does open him up a little bit more for an offensive choice. Princess there used right on the front. I mean, that's kind of, that is definitely for the cycle, right? But only one Spear Goblin has started attacking that Mega Minion.
Let's see another giant drop from JungAng. He wants to make this push. Also has the Musketeer to follow that up.
What is X-BowMaster here trying to cycle for? What are the two missing cards?
Well, he will basically just have all the... This is the big problem for X-Bow. There is Log, Zap, there are lots of counter tools against the barrel, which he relies on maybe a Mega Knight.
Good fireball there, making sure to take out the Princess and damage the tower at the same time, but I'm struggling to see X-Bow's win condition here.
So he needs another playmaking, maybe even a Hog Rider or... Let's see, I think he's just holding in at the moment.
This is a Logbait deck, and Logbait generally doesn't do very well on the tournament level, right?
Let's see, this one's going to be a big one. There's a rocket.
There's the rocket. But the Goblin Gang there will finish off the Giant. He gets one hit. And in comes the barrel, but the barrel's going to go down straight away most likely. Oh, wait. There's no response from JungAng there.
Ooh, actually, JungAng, because he had to use the log to take care of the Princess from the other side. Nice way of dealing, just knowing the cycle of your opponent that he may just not have it. I was wondering he was throwing off to the same lane that the Goblin Gang was going. So could have been a waste, but seeing the log like 10 seconds before.
There's a mini P.E.K.K.A from JungAng, and does X-BowMaster. Oh, there you go. The Ice Spirit pulls it, and then the Goblin Gang finishes it up in the middle. Two Knights now dealing damage onto the Giant, but there's a second Giant coming out here. Oh, good tornado there. Pulling everything back. Golem's doing work, and it is down. Not too much damage done to the tower there either.
It was a good defense coming out with the tornado. If you can actually draw all the slow units like that, your tower would basically take no damage. When X-Bow actually concentrated his attacks on both sides, he can go left and the right at the same time. There's the log this time.
It is so hard to decide who is going to break. This is push and pull, push and pull.
But this Princess is doing 3 damage on the right.
Yeah, but like
Oh, Musketeer actually does not catch the last hit. Has to drop down the mini here to take care of that archer. I mean the princess.
Yeah, I mean JungAng is throwing everything down one lane. I don't think he really cares too much about losing both, like getting low on one side. But if it keeps going like this, that tower is going to go down before the left-hand tower.
Let's see. He has lots of ground units to actually delay all the attacks coming up from JungAng. I think he X-Bow already knows that if I just don't make a mistake here, I should be able to win.
Lanes. Started to throw the barrels on the right-hand side, but things are still going on that other side. This is difficult to see which way you should go. Like,
you can
this
go
is
for both.
Pure test.
I mean, there's no area damage from JungAng too much, so if he's making his gang effectively so much down to 4, and that's going to be game. JungAng knows that game is over. Rocket in his hand probably, and that's going to be game.
Wow. That was so back and forth the whole time. Both players are pushing, pulling. X-BowMaster made a correct decision on trying to damage the other side. Like, everything was so focused on the left. He drops a Princess on the right, and JungAng didn't seem to be able to find the elixir to take out that Princess early enough.
Yeah, splitting your resources. That's how you do it. When you know your opponent, when you know all the cards, when you have seen at least 7 to 8 cards from your opponent, that you realize, he doesn't have too much area damaging units at all. And log was basically used all the time because it has to be waiting in your hand, because that barrel is going to come at you all the time.
Yeah, and X-BowMaster rightly assumed that he had all the right tools plus a little bit of extra elixir. He had everything he needed to constantly defend JungAng's push, and he still had 3 to 4 elixir left over, so he has a push. He throws the Goblin Barrel, he throws down the offensive Princess. He always had that little bit of extra elixir over whatever JungAng was doing.
Yeah, because there were nothing like Electro Wizard, Ice Wizard, or just the regular Wizard doing or the baby dragon, like in game number 1, the gang was tanking so much damage, doing chip damage. Even a zap is not enough to take care of them. So, and they're most likely from the other side, Giant, a Musketeer. All those units were doing single damage, not area damage. So gang was very effective every single time when Giant is slowly approaching the tower. Got few hits, only 1 or 2 every single time, not even once. When X-BowMaster, when he had the flow in the game, he was actually focusing his own attack onto the other side.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go now for JungAng? He has to reverse sweep this.
Well, he is down 0-2, and they are already finished. What a quick... They're ready to jump into game 3. Let's see if we have another 3-0, or maybe this can be a beginning of a reverse sweep for JungAng coming up. Seems like he is ready. We are all ready. Let's go into set number 3, game number 3.
All right, X-Bow in blue, JungAng on red. This is game number 2. Match number 2, set number 3.
Yes, match number 2. I said set number 2 because the Koreans always say set at the same time, but same sets and games, they're equal.
Yeah,
match,
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I was just reading from the top. I don't know where I am. There's a flying machine.
A flying machine.
Let's see how good it is.
With a barrel from JungAng this time. Okay, let's see if X-BowMaster has any spells available.
That flying machine single-handedly took out that knight there.
The arts actually... That log, dude, these logs are just so effective, wiping out everything.
There's just so much elixir being spilled onto the battlefield at once. It was like watching a Michael Bay movie, and the tornado.
No, it gets taken out from the damage.
The goblin tried so hard, he was just out of reach. He was like sitting on his chair trying to reach the cookie jar, which is just out of reach.
Yes, you do have to be careful when you use the log like that. That's why sometimes you throw it to the side instead, the tornado.
If that tornado pulled just a little bit more, that would have activated the King Tower. JungAng would have had the defensive advantage.
So, but the dart is actually a good counter against the flying machine. So it seems like already, and for now, it's going in favor of JungAng. Of course, X-BowMaster to get more damage. Let's see how he defends this with log here.
Perfectly timed log there, making sure those goblins do 0 damage. But this flying machine, it's doing the work both defensively and offensively. It's not amazing at either, but it is a good choice for both.
So this kind of push is when you have all the ground units, some units that's actually taking, not too much damage, I would say, but the range is good, the attack speed is pretty fast.
Yeah, just around 200 damage per hit, and it's doing work here for X-BowMaster. Unexpectedly, there is so many answers for JungAng that never seem to hit at the right time.
Here's a crazy push with the barrel, and the actually well defended with the perfect log, just was enough. But here comes the rocket, and just one more will be game ending. JungAng needs to do it right now with this barrel right now.
Yeah, that put JungAng on such a short timer. He has to push real hard now, but X-BowMaster just has to wait for the right amount of elixir. Flying machine taking it out once more. He has it in his hand.
Yeah, he has the favor. He's pushing in. He just needs to cycle, just throwing the barrel to the side. All he needs is another. He doesn't even need the rocket. That's the thing. JungAng has lost it, dropped this device already. Down to 2-1. That's going to be game and a 3-0 for match number 1 and 2.
Where have you been all my life? It did so much work there for X-BowMaster.
Hey, when I use the flying machine, it's never like that. But
I know. It's like,
I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He managed to push in all the time. He gets his defense. The big story for X-BowMaster, I think, was the Goblin Gang actually being so effectively used by in his defense, and also to go towards the offense when he has the momentum to push into the side.
I think another thing is that JungAng would place the princess as a defensive option against the flying machine, but that puts the flying machine in range of the tower. It doesn't care about the princess's damage. It's gonna get 2, maybe 3 hits.
Yeah. What a nice way to advance into the winners match. And we're gonna have Yungela versus X-BowMaster.
Yeah, this is the two people who finished first in their respective groups going off against each other here for the winner's spot at the top of the finals.
These are actually crazy matches coming up. So we'll have this match. The winner of the winners match will go straight to the final. We'll be waiting at that moment. The losers from match number 1 and match number 2 tonight will be the first match for the semi-playoff that will be happening in a few days.
Yeah, and then the winner of that will progress to the next match, and then the winner of that will go on to face the winner of today's final match.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm excited to what's going to happen because Yungela won over Charsiu 3-0. Also, X-BowMaster defeating JungAng 3-0, and it was somewhat close. But I would say both of the winners for tonight was actually dominating over the opponent.
Yeah, X-BowMaster. Actually, Yungela looked completely in control of every match. X-BowMaster didn't quite give me that same amount of confidence that Yungela gave me. Like, Yungela never looked like he could lose, but X-Bow didn't quite have that same feeling from his play.
Maybe his strategy, holding in, well, he was leading anyhow, but holding in his secret deck. Of course, already playing the flying machine already, and here we have, talking about flying machine, we have game number 3, the replay for you guys.
Yeah, so that flying machine actually did a lot of work. As we were saying, it's not the best option for offense, it's not the best option for defense, but it's a good option for both.
Yep. Also having all the ground units, making your opponent use a log all the time.
Oh, he actually had Mega Knight.
Yes, I was
never used it, did he?
Yeah, I was guessing he has something like a Mega. That's the kind of decks that he has been bringing all the time to.
So you can see there that the princess doesn't attract the attention of the flying machine, and that's why he got to do so much damage.
This was a good try on the tornado. If that landed a single hit onto the King Tower, I think the story could have been different by the end of the game.
Yeah, he was just out of reach. There's the flying machine, and watch again. Princess comes down, but he doesn't care. The flying machine goes straight for the tower. Didn't even look at the Dark Goblin either.
He had some small elixir units that could defend pretty well, like the bats, Goblin Gang, also the bear. Also, the barrel log. That's the kind of playstyle the X-BowMaster has been bringing into Korea all this time.
Yeah, and every time that flying machine crosses the river, it's not looking at anything else. This, it was just out of range of the tower.
And notice how he was holding the Mega Knight and the rocket this entire time, and when he does not have the cycling cards, he realized maybe I need to cycle one more slot, and drops down the rocket. Also knew that he was going to take it. He was going to be close anyhow.
Yeah, Flying Machine did so much work for X-Bow in that final game. And honestly, I was not expecting it to show itself as powerfully as it did then. We were saying at the beginning we might not even see it.
Yep, and I also honestly did not expect, but there's a flying machine already, and that's match 2. X-BowMaster taking a clean series, I would say, against JungAng, and the winner series coming right up. Who would you say who's going to take the winner's match?
Based on today's performance, I think Yungela might take it, but if you don't ban the X-Bow, X-Bow always has a chance.
Let's see, as we will have that winner's match coming right up after the short. We'll take a few minutes, and we'll be right back, guys, with that winner's match between Yungela and X-BowMaster. Welcome back to Crown Championship Global Series Korea. Woo, that was close. But the winner's match we have been waiting for versus Yungela versus X-BowMaster. We have that on stage, Simon. As you predicted, do you still think Yungela is going to take the series?
I still think Yungela is going to take this series, mainly because he's on the blue side.
Aha, the blue side actually
Is 2-0 today. So I think blue will have a nice clean sweep today. And
that's actually crazy because day 6, blue side actually won everything. Oh, if you go back, it's kind of even before. But continuing with the latest trend, yes, blue side has been winning everything basically.
And Yungela has looked the strongest player that we have left. X-Bow looks good, but Yungela looks phenomenal.
But that's the thing, Yungela, he knew that he was going against Charsiu from the beginning, but did he prepare enough to go against X-BowMaster? I think that's the biggest, I would say that's the biggest one that we have in our hands. That's the question. Is Yungela ready for X-BowMaster? Did he expect X-BowMaster to come up?
You know, I gotta think that he kind of did. The way JungAng finished off his group, he must have known that X-Bow would have won, because X-Bow always looked solid, but JungAng has always been a bit shaky.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's see. Yungela has, with the latest update, decided match had a 3-0 against Charsiu just early on today. And we'll have him in blue once more. As you're knowing, just watching the pattern, having the blue win, but X-BowMaster here.
In red.
He's I believe the highest trophy versus the lowest trophy here of the tournament since the round of 8. But he's been winning pretty solidly. Also the youngest player, I believe, in the tournament.
Yeah.
He has nothing to lose here. He's bringing everything. I'm expecting another Elixir Collector ban, but we're about to have that soon. What do you think Yungela is going to ban? X-Bow again?
No, I don't think Yungela would go to ban X-Bow. Yungela is the type of player who likes to let people have some comfort and just exploit that comfort. But we will see.
Let's see. The ban card is ready. Let's take a look right.
Oh, he does ban the X-Bow!
So it is the same.
It is the same, and I actually fear for X-Bow's life, because without the X-Bow, he looked good, but not great. Yungela has looked great regardless of what you ban against him.
Oh, let's see. Yungela.
Will we see more Flying Machine, though? I thought it did such good work for X-BowMaster in that last game that I think it deserves to be picked up again by X-BowMaster.
Well, Elixir Collector banned for X-Bow. I think both players are expecting, and I think you can expect similar decks from what they have played early on today to continue here, because we actually have a similar type of ban coming out, especially for X-BowMaster. He basically has the same thing, so you can just keep the exact same one, where Yungela may need to change a little bit into his deck because Elixir Collector is now banned, where he was actually using some of the heavier ones in match number 1.
Yeah, it's really interesting that X-Bow has been the only player that has had X-Bow banned against him. It's a card that doesn't seem to be good for anyone else, but as soon as it's in X-Bow's hands, he does so much work with it. And I don't know how he manages to do it, but if the strongest player of this tournament is afraid of your X-Bow play, you should be proud of yourself, especially as a guy as young as
he's a master, and he, even without the X-Bow which was banned in match number 2 tonight, he brought a win for himself with a 3-0 against JungAng, who was supposed to be one of the of course, at top 4. He lost the 3 against X-BowMaster. That's how strong he is. Even without the X-Bow, he has lots of similar style deck, which cannot be beaten easily by the opponent. We saw his decks a lot of the time, not the Flying Machine one, of course, but the Barrel Rocket, the gang with the Mega Knight especially, which he used effectively all the time as a defensive tool.
Yeah, but I mean, Yungela's mechanics look a lot sharper than X-Bow's mechanics.
defense.
Although he did make one Ice Golem mistake in game number 1, I believe.
I don't know. Like I've been thinking about it. I don't know if it was a mistake or just
I saw his
to be
face. It was a mistake.
No, but I think he was expecting
Go watch the
it to be
replay,
pulled.
Simon.
I
I
will,
think
I
he
will.
made a the moment he put down the Ice Golem, I was like, he made that surprising face.
No, but I think he was expecting the P.E.K.K.A to turn around, and then as soon as the Ice Golem started walking, and the P.E.K.K.A was just like, "Yeah, I don't care about you, Frosty." he was like, "Oh wow, that sucks."
Well, even with the Elixir Collector, do you think Yungela is going to keep up with his heavy ones? I think he will just go fire with fire here. Just bring the light one. Maybe this time he will have his own flying machine.
Maybe. Yungela does have a habit of picking up his opponent's decks and just playing them better. He picked up Charsiu's Golem play and showed Charsiu how to play it. And I feel like Yungela won't bring the Golems against X-BowMaster.
Okay, seems like they don't even need the full time. The time is up. And they are ready. This is the winner's match. Game number 1, Yungela versus X-BowMasters. Let's go right into the game. We have Yungela blue at the bottom, X-BowMaster, and on top red, we have X-Bow banned from Yungela, Elixir Collector banned from X-BowMaster.
And a Goblin Hut. That's something new that we've seen from Yungela, so we'll see what it does here. Now, if this is the same deck I've been facing off against, like, it's just going to get super annoying, but you have to deal with that Goblin Hut as soon as possible.
It's not I'm pretty sure the one you were dealing was not. The Goblin Hut was not the only structure that you had, right? There are lots of buildings coming up, right?
No, it was pretty much Goblin Hut, Mirror Goblin Hut. And it was just like, and then suddenly, like, you know, a miner comes out and you're like, well, this is not going well for me. But the miner here for X-BowMaster is going to work on that tower, bringing it down quite a way.
Oh, maybe this is a clone. Or even a mirror, let's see it.
That giant skeleton kind of gives away that there's going to be a clone, but maybe not. And it explodes onto nothing. Perfect defense.
Burn Dragon was just enough for the defense. Cannot land on to the tower. That's the thing, but X-BowMaster, he brings lots of bandit. I feel like that's his signature card, actually. Not just the X-Bow.
Yeah, his bandit play is always perfect. It took him a little bit to get used to the change that happened recently, but he came straight back with the bandit play as soon as he got used to the new mechanic of that dash.
He's using off. Well, Yungela is just countering with the Goblin Gang. Most of the time, there's a log.
The miner again is dealing so much work with the bats as well. This tower looks like it's going down.
Oh my, that may just be enough to...
Bit of a fist bump there from X-BowMaster. I guess that means he's got poison. This is going down. This is not looking good for Yungela and the blue team for today.
And, oh my.
And a mirror comes down. What did he mirror, actually?
The hut.
Oh, he mirrored the hut.
Mirrored the hut.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
He just wants to make this crazy push. There's the Mega Knight once again.
This Mega Knight should easily help defend, but that tower is taking quite a bit of damage.
The miner.
Yeah, that Goblin Hut is such a threat, though.
Only 30 seconds for Yungela to make his maximum push.
He has to take this tower in the next 20 seconds, or he is down 1-0. Good defensive play against that giant skeleton. Electro Wizard doing work on these Goblin Gangs, but a poison is going to take him down. Oh, maybe not. This bandit is going to connect as well onto that tower.
May just be game over with the Mega Knight dropping down as a defensive tool. Yungela does not take game 1. X-BowMaster actually is the one taking game number 1 with lots of miners. Bandit, Inferno Dragon actually working pretty well against the giant skeleton.
Yeah, X-BowMaster does like his bandits, and when we see him have his X-Bow band, that is always his next card. And the mix between the bandit, Mega Knight Inferno Dragon, that's a defensive and offensive trio right there. It's going to deal so much damage going forward. It's going to deal so much damage on a defense. It is such a good trio of cards to use here.
I'm pretty sure Yungela wanted to surprise his opponent a little bit by bringing a mirror deck here, mirror hut deck. And Skeleton, because of lots of times because of the Infernal Dragon and also the poison, lots of tools from the other side, it got nowhere close to the tower.
Yeah.
Of course, it's better to do direct damage to the tower as a giant skeleton, but even just dying around the tower is enough. That explosion damage at the end is huge.
Sometimes you don't even need to get that far. If they overcommit on the defense against a giant skeleton and that bomb actually connects, you get so much elixir value from that. That's why you usually try to run like an ice golem with the giant skeleton so that the ice golem will keep your enemy units on top of that
Yeah,
bomb.
that's why he dropped the hut. He wanted those golems to, not golems, those small goblins to take all the damage before the skeleton went in. But just all the bandit, all the miner, electric wizard, the defense from X-Bow Wizard. No, not I'm mixing everything. I'm mixing everything up now.
New unit
X-BowMaster
confirmed.
was
How would that
effective.
work? An X-Bow wizard. Would it be an X-Bow that shoots ice wizards at a tower? Like, oh!
That's too OP. But game 2 is ready, guys. Between Yungela and X-BowMaster. X-BowMaster leading the series 1-0. Let's jump right into game number 2.
And here we are again. Yungela in the blue on the bottom is 1 down against X-BowMaster.
Notice the trophy count.
know.
6,400 against 48.
My basic math tells me that's about 1,600 trophy difference. I could be incorrect. I don't have a calculator.
Let's do math. They're waiting. Let's do math. Let's figure out the exact difference.
Oh, I don't want to do that kind of
hard.
math. I finished school like 100 years ago. In comes a miner, though, dealing damage to that tower. I am not doing math today. All right, so Goblin Barrel. Oh, it's going to hit 1.
He does have log, but that was a late response.
Yeah, and Yungela knows he took a bit too much damage from that there. You can see the frustration on his face, and that perfect Ice Spirit stopping that bandit. You see what I mean about a Yungela?
Oh my, this is a big problem. Miner was dropped near the center, not towards the left side, so Tornado is going to activate that King Tower. Good news for X-BowMaster for sure.
Yeah, as I was saying, like Yungela always seems to take his opponent's deck and try to show them how it's played, but he is looking flustered in this game. He's constantly shaking his head. He knows his logs should be better.
Well, even the last one, the barrel did hit. But the King Tower will be in defense now, even the Ice Spirit delaying this attack a little bit more.
Yeah, but
let's get a good 600 off there.
there's the Goblins again. Ice Spirit and the Inferno Dragon. I mean, this is X-Bow's deck from last game. Is he just going into match history?
This is very similar one.
Oh,
Actually,
and
the
he missed
barrel.
one, but it doesn't matter.
The log, this is gets one hit, but this is tripping him every single time. It's tricking with his mind. Where's the next one going to be?
And not just that, it's constantly frustrating him. Look at his face every time he drops that log. He's not looking happy.
The miner, because of the King Tower, is doing less of a job every single time. There's another barrel this time, right on the tower.
His defense wasn't good enough again. Those goblins are still hitting that tower, and Yungela actually whiffed that log again.
This is just game over. I believe he has at least a fireball in his hand. There has to be a pretty strong spell card that X-BowMaster should be having.
Might not need it here, but there are 2 miners on that tower. The Tornado will pull them back, but the miner should... Oh, he doesn't go back to work. The goblins there stop the bandit. Yungela knows it's over.
Yungela's not too happy about game number 2, but that's it. 3 more seconds, and he will not have his own push. X-BowMaster takes game number 2 like
I was
man.
not expecting this.
He has started to lose his control, as you mentioned that he's one of the best mechanical players in Korea right now, but his log timing is not perfect. Sometimes he's not really predicting the log at the right location. What's going on here?
I think X-Bow has got into his head. Like, after dropping that first game, Yungela did not look happy for a single second in that second set. And it's easy for us to downplay it, but the mentality of losing games like that is so hard to take.
We had 2 3-0s, and it is a 2-0 right now. Oh, with the X-BowMaster taking game number 2 like that, we're going into a minute before game number 3, but use of those barrels from X-BowMasters were incredible.
Yeah, everything about X-Bow's play there just screamed damage. The Goblin barrels are doing so much work. The Miner was that one as well. Like, everything. The Tornado, like, just everything went right for X-BowMaster.
When he does not have too many tools to defend, he actually brings the Knight, which other players do not use too much. Only X-BowMaster, especially in Korea, has been using the Knight and also banning Knight against few players, I believe, June in Group A.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember that far back. That's going back like 3 weeks. I don't remember what I had for lunch. But, I mean, yeah, he has always seemed to pick his cards perfectly and has found that banning the Elixir Collector helps him play better.
Oh, the minute is already up. Game 3, we had 2 3-0s. Is this going to be another 3-0 or having the start of a reverse sweep for Yungela? Game 3 is ready. The players are ready. We're ready. Are you guys ready? Let's jump into game number 3. Here we go, possibly the last game of tonight, the winner's match. Hog Rider dropped from the very start.
1, 2, yep.
Just 2.
2 hits.
Still pretty good, 500 off. We're back to 2007-6, guys.
And the Miner gets dealt with
Ooh,
straight
Miner
away
does
by the Mini
no
P.E.K.K.A.
damage from the Mini, actually. Oh, the minions are going to land because of that a little bit.
And there starts the conga line by the Ice Golem, leading the way. Mini P.E.K.K.A. takes him out in 2 shots, though. And Mini P.E.K.K.A. is so quick.
Yes, and also does crazy amount of damage. Yes, crazy amount of damage. If he lands a single hit onto the tower, 1/5 is just gone.
Yeah, it's similar, very similar to his P.E.K.K.A. There's an arrow instantly taking out that princess. Very interesting there for Yungela.
Oh, arrow for arrow. That's what you need. But the Hog Rider is here with the Ice Spirit.
And the Ice Spirit actually breaks onto the Mega Knight.
He just wants to pair that up with 26 there. 2006 on both towers. Oh, there's another. Here comes
1 hit.
another drag.
Mini P.E.K.K.A. 2 hits. Is he going to get 3? Oh, so close. So much damage from that Mini P.E.K.K.A. X-BowMaster has taken control of this match so easily.
Oh, Arrow is actually being very effective. Let's get the jump on this tower. So about as even, I would say, for both players right now.
Yeah, but X-BowMaster just looks like he gets more out of everything. That looked more like a freakish accident with that Mega Knight connecting than anything else. In comes the Hog Rider again. Does take some damage on the way. He's probably only going to get 1. Yeah, just the 1 hit. But that Miner is doing so much work for Yungela.
To 488 and 450 on the blue side. This princess will probably just be arrowed and just get taken care of, unless Yungela actually really want to. Oh, there's a rocket, though. Still 50 seconds left.
It's a very early rocket, but there's a balloon.
And the Miner, and the moment he drops down the Mini.
And it's oh my god.
X-BowMaster says, oh my god,
so
this is going to be a crazy push. There's 1. May actually get 2.
No, this might get 3.
Oh, man, this is a crazy push. So instead, there's a Hog Rider coming down now.
Oh, but both towers, he doesn't have anything to finish these towers. There's no rocket, no fireball.
The Zap Arrow and the Zap, I think, maybe enough?
Let's see. I don't know. Mega Knight is going to jump and connect onto that, but The
It's
tower
still
has
pretty
86
strong.
HP. This
The
is so
bat
close. 10
is coming in
seconds
the
left.
jump. The nice
There's
zap. That's going to do
Oh!
it. It's about as even, but
Ties
Yungela,
up. Yungela has such an
this tower only has
advantage.
488. And Mini Pekka cannot defend it. This is a big problem.
And
The
there's a
miner
miner.
comes in.
This is so bad here.
Oh, the rocket for the
Is
defense.
it
The
gonna be
miner is doing
enough?
so much
Is it?
damage.
Oh, just
Gets
about.
the explosion damage onto the tower. That's game. Yungela's coming back, still alive in the series.
That looks so bad halfway through for Yungela. Like, everything was going perfectly right for X-BowMaster, but Yungela somehow pulled that back out of absolutely nowhere.
That game was one of the most exciting one, I would say, in this tournament so far.
The tide just turned halfway through.
At the
and
moment, X-Bow, he knew he could not defend that balloon too well. He was like, okay, I'm just going to go with my own way. I'm going to make my own push with the Hog Rider, with the Mini Pekka.
It did come out of nowhere, though. The balloon just didn't look like it would fit that deck at all. But there was a very distinct lack of anti-air for X-BowMaster.
Yeah, that's the thing. And Yungela bring that arrow, which was very surprising, but did the job. Got some damage onto the tower, took care of Princess every single time.
Yeah, Arrow is such a good answer to everything that X-Bow has shown tonight. The goblins, the princesses. Like, it deals with them so quickly. And honestly, that must put X-Bow in a difficult position. Do I continue to play goblins? Do I continue to play princesses? Or should I try something else?
Because she had lots of small units like the goblins in the ground. Sometimes a log was enough, but the minute is up. Seems like they're ready to jump into game 4 still. Down 1-2 for Yungela. X-BowMaster is leading in the series. But game 4 is ready for you guys. Let's jump right into game number 4.
So Yungela in the blue really does need to win this game to make sure that he sits on top of the tournament standings and he will become the final boss. But if X-BowMaster wins this, who is playing in the red, he will be the final boss of the Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea.
Yes, I know that's a hard one.
It's such a mouthful.
It's like the lyrics to a rap song.
I tried
2017
so
Clash Royale Crown Championship Global Series Korea.
It was so hard to keep
Day
that
number
tone of
day
voice.
number blah blah blah.
It is so hard to keep that tone of voice and then say something that is a complete and utter mouthful. All right, by the way, both players are waiting here, and this usually means we get an incredibly explosive
And
match.
we usually have this kind of game when we have Elixir Collector banned. And when that's not banned, we will actually have it placed from the very beginning, but they're just waiting for that minute mark for that
Maybe
maximum
not.
push.
Maybe not. Oh, both
Maybe,
players.
yes.
Nice gun. I think... What do you think they've got
here we
behind this?
go.
There's a bandit.
Which is
Fly machine! There's so much work. Even the
Miner.
poison, but the Goblin Gang being dropped there might have been a bit of a mistake. You do not want to drop your Goblin Gang inside a poison.
What a nice poison there, and the Ice Golem just goes past each other.
Oh, the logs are back in play here for Yungela. Took one game off to make sure he reset his skills, and perfect timing once again.
A lot better compared to game number 2, which she was having some struggle dropping down all that log.
Here comes another log. Takes out the Ice Spirit. Bats dropped at the back for Yungela. And the Ice Golem there. What are both players hiding in those last two cards? Maybe a Rocket Mega Knight. So this is the same deck we have seen X-BowMaster play before.
If it was, then the last card should be Rocket for the finish.
Yeah, that would
Let's
make
see.
perfect sense in this part. And honestly, Inferno Dragon.
Ooh, but
Bandit
Inferno Dragon
jumps
actually,
on, Mega Knight jumps on the Bandit. I lost
think-
my words.
Inferno Dragon was connecting to the bats before, so actually got the jump all the way to the tower. And meanwhile, the flying machine did so much damage. Basically got all the damage in.
Wow, I can't believe how effective these flying machines are for X-BowMaster. Maybe he needs a name change.
There's a log now. Well timed by Yungela this time.
versus Mega Knight. Both players are about even here. There's the Inferno Dragon. Both decks look like they can take each other as well. There isn't going to be like a hard counter here. The Flying Machine goes to work on the Inferno Dragon as it continues to hit that Mega Knight, but doesn't deal enough damage.
Nice poison, but maybe it could have been better if it was landed a little bit below.
That Mega Knight is going to connect onto this tower though.
First the bats and now jumping onto the Ice Spirit instead.
It didn't hit the tower, but the Flying Machine does so much work against that Inferno Dragon. Will that Flying Machine ever? No.
That's the power of Flying Machine. The range is crazy. There's so much damage when everything else is fighting at that moment. The bats actually take care of it.
Dropped it right in the middle of those bats. But another barrel, there's a log. Yeah, it takes it out. But there was so much left
we're
there.
About as dead even in this game. One single tower will be GG. Extra
Mega
time
Knight again. Mega Knight is so good against the mine, it takes it out nearly instantly. There's a Flying Machine which is going to take out the Inferno Dragon, but the bats go down almost instantly to that poison.
Nice poison. He had to drop down the poison because the Inferno was connecting to the bats, but misses one Goblin. Is going to hit just one hit.
If only the formation had been slightly different there, he might have had two of the Goblins alive, but this is looking dangerous.
Yungela knows that the last card is going to be the rocket, so he's making this defense as
he cannot drop below about 600 HP because that would be
It's going down 900. Oh, another one. Might as well just use the rocket right after if you know you have the lead.
No, if he uses the rocket now, he's going to put himself in such a bad position against Yungela's
jumps on
offense.
There's a poison and Minor Plus doing some damage. This
It's taken out by the Flying Machine. The Flying Machine is going to go to work on that Inferno Dragon. In comes the Goblin Barrel. If this connects at all, this could be GG.
So instead of a log, he actually dropped down the bat. What a smart play by Yungela. Keeping his calm. This could be the game-ending moment, guys. We only have 110 remaining right now.
But it's still neck and neck. The Flying Machine and the bats are going to take down that Inferno Dragon. The Goblin Barrel comes out from X-BowMaster. Will it deal any damage?
Down to 5, 6.
Oh, it's so close to being rocketable.
Single
there comes the rocket.
And the log will be game over.
He's got 71 HP. There we go.
That was basically it. That's how you take it. Over 500, a rocket plus the log. That's GG. That's going to be game. He takes the series. X-BowMaster goes straight to the finals.
Yeah,
what a game.
Yungela is not out. He goes to the next stage. He is going to be facing off against either JungAng or Charsiu.
Yeah, the winner of the semi-playoff will advance against Yungela, and the winner of that will verse X-BowMaster in the finals. But what a crazy winner series we had here.
This is the underdog story of the Crown Championship Global Series. This guy come in, he is the youngest player. He has one of the lowest trophy counts, and he is schooling everybody here. Wow.
And also proving that trophy count does not guarantee you a win in the tournament.
No, it doesn't, and honestly, X-BowMaster has looked so good today. He started off very shaky in the first games, but after that, he has been on such a rampage, beating the likes of, I don't know who he's played in the past, but he beat the likes of Yungela in this match right now.
It seems like if we have a ban card, we will, because of our memory problems, we will actually use those ban cards in the match. So that's... well, that's why you write things down, take notes, and prepare like all the things, all the decks that you have prepared on your cell phone, on the paper.
Yes, teacher.
Oftentimes, that's what all the...
Yes, teacher.
Yes, you're
yes,
now
sensei.
my disciple.
Yes, sensei.
Well, that's it. X-BowMaster, who I thought at the beginning, oh, he's the youngest with the lowest trophy counts. Maybe he will be ending up somewhere in the middle of the group stage, but he stood on top in Group B. He came out as the first. He's going straight to the finals, guys. And that's I would say, one of the best things about Clash Royale. You never know. You always have your chances if you do your homework. If you can play right, play perfectly, you can do well.
Yeah, and honestly, where did this Flying Machine come from? It has done so much work for X-BowMaster, but no one else has touched it today.
There's a replay. It will be the replay of Game 3, actually, with that Hog Rider from the very beginning of the game.
So Game 3, Mini P.E.K.K.A does just walk through those minions, but goes on a bit of a journey. He tries to find himself somewhere on the river, but didn't quite manage to find anything.
There's nothing in that.
No, there's nothing at all.
Few fish dropping down every other second, but here comes the defense most of the time, and look at the ice golem use for both of the players.
Constantly just leading everything that is big across the map. And this gets really, really close. Both players are incredibly neck
I think
and neck.
this is the moment where he drops down the balloon and the mini at the same time. Well, not at the same time. Well, tiny second late. This slow mode. So, but the balloon connects.
Yeah, that balloon
More
dealt
than twice.
so much damage.
Once,
twice,
so
3
instead,
times a lady.
yeah, he knows that tower is gone already, so he actually drops all the Hog Rider, all the defense, but does not really connect with the King Tower or the Princess Tower on the right.
Do you think he showed his rocket a little bit too soon and maybe should have delayed?
Well, I think he had to be cost efficient. If he dropped down the rocket, maybe he could have lost the game even earlier. Yes. Well, that's how Yungela actually took game number 3. But overall, X-BowMaster takes it 3-1, and we will have the updated sheet with the playoff, who's going to play who, what's going to happen. If what we talk about does not make sense visually, you will get to see it very soon.
Yeah, so X-BowMaster will be at the very top. The first game in the next set of games we will have will be Charsiu versus JungAng. The winner of that will face off against
Draw pictures
Yungela,
in your head, but
and then
we'll have that very soon.
Oh.
So, yes, Simon, do not fall. I still need you.
This kind of thing is like foreign to me as an English person. We don't really do this style.
But here we go. Let's break it down here. They call it semi-playoff. Charsiu versus JungAng, first match of the playoff, and the winner versus Yungela will be the playoff, and the finals, best of 7, by the way, guys. We'll be going against the X-BowMaster because he won both of his matches tonight, and that's going to be the end for the tournament, and the winner from the final will of course go directly to London, that global big stage.
Yeah, X-BowMaster going to London was such a big experience for someone so young. Yungela going there would be an incredible experience for him too. But JungAng and Charsiu, if they could go, they would write a brilliant story to the end of the Korean Crown Championship.
So that's
series.
the thing. No one's dropped out from today's match. Still, Charsiu and still JungAng, they have a good chance of advancing. Who knows if they can, if JungAng just beats everyone else and just advances to the finals. But the next matchup, we'll have the semi playoff, and we'll have the playoff with the winner right after. Of course, we will have the finals as the last one. We may have something special on that day too. Spoiler alert. Maybe not.
Someone hasn't told me something.
Well, that's what the PD said from the beginning, but I don't know what's happening. But I didn't say that, guys. Well, that's the next set of matches catching up. The best of 5s for the playoffs, though. Only best of 7, only for the grand final of Korea. So let's see. Well, today I think we got a good hint of all 4 players, what they like to play, even with the flying machine. X-BowMaster already showed, but the other players, I'm pretty sure they will be ready for that flying machine.
I think they might be playing it again in the future because it did so much work today. And honestly, it's a card that probably they weren't very comfortable with coming into today. This is the first time it's been available for our series. So next time we might see them prepare a few more decks around that card.
Well, let's see. This was the first day, and playoff and the final. We're going to see a little bit more possibly, but that's going to wrap up for us tonight, and we will be back with more Clash Royale action with the playoff in a few days.